Well, good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Petra Weldes, Spiritual Director here, and we are moving through our month of love this month. We're using Paul Farini's book, The Laws of Love, and having an opportunity to dive more deeply into it. So we're just excited and delighted to have you with us. We have a full and beautiful service planned for you. We'll be doing the second half of the installation of our new associate minister, Reverend Karen Fry. She'll be sharing the talk with you as well. And then, of course, as you know, we have the annual meeting and all kinds of good stuff happening after the service. So please do stay for that and be a part of the community. I'm just so excited. We just got back from Costa Rica. Oh my gosh! I hope that you joined us on Facebook and saw all the fabulous things and events. And clearly, you're not going to want to miss the next trip. Okay, so we will be letting you know what the next trips will be coming up. We had a fabulous time with Spirit Tours. We just fell in love with each other over the course of the days. We had an amazing opportunity to practice the Be Peace practice. You're going to hear something about it. We're offering a whole course in it in March. That stood us. God, we practiced that every day. We had an opportunity to practice the Be Peace practices. And let me tell you, the deepest spiritual practice I had on the entire trip, ziplining. Oh my goodness. It was very intense and very, very powerful. So it was really great. And our tour guide, Jim Kramer and his daughter, Jatana, they spoke about the depth and joy and love in our community. And I said, well, wait until you come and actually get to experience us fully and completely together. So it was wonderful to go with the community, and it's just a blessing to be home with you. So we'd like to take this opportunity then to welcome anyone who is with us for the first time.
I'm Petra Weldes, Senior Minister of the Center for Spiritual Living in Dallas, and we're delighted that you found us here on the web. You can find our Sunday services on our website by every Wednesday, and we love that you can look at us online and explore these spiritual teachings. Feel free to explore our archives. It goes back a number of years with lots of special topics and amazing speakers. You can also sign up for our email news, My Daily Words, and my blog, Spiritual Living with Dr. Petra. If you're looking for a spiritual community, come visit us. Or if you're just in Dallas, drop on by. We'd love to give you a hug. Welcome home.
All right. So we have a very, very special opportunity now as we continue on with the installation of our new associate minister. I'd like to invite our practitioners to come forward, please. As you know, it's always said that our practitioners are the healing and praying arm of this community, but they are actually the extension of the ecclesiastical ministry of this community. And I think you guys are going to have to scoot over just a little bit. There we go. And just an extraordinary, loving presence. Not only do they pray, but they teach, they guide, they support, they nurture. You guys do an amazing job being here with our community, and I want to thank you for your participation and your love and care to the ecclesiastical, ministerial side of this community. And so when we install somebody, we always invite our this sacred hoop to be created here. This it's like a that's so they can't escape. No, it's if you think about it from the Native American tradition, there is the sacred hoop that's created in sacred ceremony, and so our practitioners establish that here on the platform, and when we install someone and provide that moment of ritual. And so we do that by setting the time aside out of the ordinary ceremony that we do here on a Sunday morning. And we create this hoop to make it a moment of ritual. So I'm going to invite our new associate minister, Reverend Karen Fry, to come stand in the center of this here. So, Karen, you're halfway installed. So we try to do this at both services, so our whole community gets to participate in the installation. I'm going to share with you a little bit about what Karen is being installed into as the associate minister, and then she's taken a number of vows at the first service, and she'll take the rest of the vows here at the second service, so that we can all be witness to and a part of it. So today we have the honor and privilege to install Reverend Karen Fry as an associate minister of the Center for Spiritual Living in Dallas. So the Minister of Religious Science acts in a threefold capacity in fulfilling the ministerial office. She serves as minister to the community and spiritual guide to all who come to her for support. She collaborates in partnership with the spiritual director, that would be me, and has charge in the performance of all ministerial functions. 2, she also serves as an official and accredited teacher in our Spiritual Development Institute, along with our practitioners, teaching Science of Mind classes and any other classes that she might want to offer. Since every minister is first a professionally licensed practitioner, she serves also as a practitioner with prayer and spiritual mind treatment whenever the call is made. So one of the things I also want to share with you is that as Karen is coming on as an associate minister and is collaborating with me on the overall care of the community, there's a number of things that will now fall to her and in her purview. And so I'm going to actually read to you. It's a little dense, and you obviously don't have to memorize it, but it will give you some sense of the kinds of things that Reverend Karen will be responsible for. Serving in collaboration and in partnership with me in the overall development and implementation of CSLDallas' ministry, including ecclesiastical, program direction, services, and education responsibilities. In conjunction with the senior minister, Reverend Karen Fry provides organizational direction, management, and implementation. She's primarily responsible for overseeing and managing congregational development, small groups and circles of life, community service, communications, and donor relations. She'll directly oversee staff in communications, sacred service ministry, pastoral care, and Sunday production. She will serve as a voting member on the Core Council, Stewardship Core, Nominating Core, Adventures in Spirit, and other fundraising committees and activities. And she'll take on other duties and responsibilities that we mutually agree upon.
Right on that.
So you should see the opportunity that we had of trying to create a set of responsibilities and between the two of us, and really thinking about where our skill sets lie. And you'll see that much of the cultivation of our community falls now to Karen, with her heart and her willingness to be a part of that and to really be involved in that cultivation. So it's a great balance for the two of us. So I'm now going to present to you the community of the Center for Spiritual Living, Reverend Karen Fry, to continue to be installed as the official associate minister of the center. So are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. So, do you dedicate yourself to your own deepening spiritual insight, that you will seek to constantly be aware of spirit within all people and see the spiritual truth in every situation?
I do.
Do you promise to provide spiritual leadership faithfully and lovingly to this community of people, and to seek ever to be an example of spiritual living and loving kindness?
I do.
Do you dedicate yourself to your own spiritual practice and spiritual growth, that you may be continually living in closer communion, knowing the divine as you, thus being a beacon of hope and a champion for the possibility in others?
I do.
Yes, and you do that well.
Thank you.
So we have lovely stoles. Our practitioners wear the purple stoles in recognition of their ministry, and so that you can identify who you can go to in prayer. And so we have a ministerial stole that we also provide. You'll notice that Karen's will be purple. Mine has the gold because I'm an ordained minister. Karen will be wearing this stole with the purple teaching symbol until she too is ordained. And at that point, we'll be providing her with an ordination type stole. And it's just an acknowledgement of, there's always an ongoing process, an unfolding of ministry that we are all embarked and engaged upon. And Reverend Karen comes to us as a practitioner, someone who has stood in this circle before in her own community and is now taking the step into ministry in a bigger way. And then we'll have the opportunity to take the step into ordination in an even bigger way. So, oh man, I'm just so grateful that you're here. I'm grateful for the support that you give to me, and I'm grateful to the support that you give to this community. I'm grateful that you are participating in the ecclesiastical and ministerial and heart and growth of this community. And so with this, placing this stole on you, I welcome you and install you as our associate minister at the Center for Spiritual Living in Dallas. In a moment like this, we would allow our newly installed minister or practitioner to say a few words, but she's actually going to give the talk. So she'll get to say a lot of words here very shortly. And she's also participating in the annual meeting, and so you'll have an opportunity to say hello and get to know her a little bit more. Thank you so much, and thank you all for holding this space. Truly grateful. Thank you.
Where I am, God is. Where I
Wow, thank you, Lahoma. My goodness, you cracked my heart wide open. Wow, I can feel the power of love in this place. Truly, I feel the presence. I feel the power of love. You are the power of love. We are the power of love. I only get to do this once, so I'm soaking you up. Thank you. So I want to start by a quote by Ernest. He lets us know that love is the central flame, nay, the central flame of the universe, nay, the very fire itself. Love is the central flame of the universe, nay, the very fire itself. It is this unquenchable fire that's been here since all existence, all eternity. It is a cosmic force. It sweeps in. It's ever present. We can't see it, can't touch it, but it's here, always, always present. And what I have come to know is that we are the point of contact. So with any fire, with any flame, with anything that burns, it must be ignited. You know, we hear talk of this divine spark. We are it. There is a divine spark that is in and through everything. And yet we are the point of contact. We must be that flint. We must be that spark to start this eternal flame that is always present. That's where it happens. Yes, love, the power of love is through every person, every animal, every plant. You know, it can be proven that if we take the time to love the plants, they will grow bigger and stronger and brighter. Try it. Teens do it. It's an experiment. It works. And we're that central point. We must be a part of it in action to spark it, to help it grow. Just like a fire, we can't experience it unless it's there, but we can feel the warmth, we can feel the glow, we can feel it spread. And it can be and is a mighty force. There's this story that I found that I wanted to share this morning. There was this nurse that saw a Marine coming down the hall in a hospital. He was tired. He looked a little anxious. He looked like he was looking for someone. And she met him and took his hand and she said, "I know where your father is. He's been waiting for you." And so she took him into the room and she said, "Now he's on a lot of pain meds with his recent heart attack, but I'm glad you're here now." And she pulled a chair over and the Marine sat down and the old man couldn't really see him. He was on the pain meds. He was looking through the oxygen tent. And his son took his hand and held it. It was just there to be love with this man. And he stayed through the night while the nurse and everybody else came in and did all that they needed to do and clamored about and made their noise. And every now and then she would hear him say some words of love, bless you, and encouragement. And she even said, "Why don't you go take a break and rest at times?" And he said, "No, I'll be here." And he kept holding his father's hand. And as dawn was breaking, the old man passed away. And he went out and he told the nurse. And he waited while she took care of what she needed to take care of. And when she came back, she started to give him condolences. And he interrupted her. And he said, "Who is that man? Who was that man?" You weren't expecting that, were you? And she said, but of course he's your father. You're his son. And he said, well, no, actually I'm not. I came here to tell a man that his son had just been killed in Iraq. And she said, well, and he said, but I knew it was a mistake, but when you led me in, I knew he couldn't really see me, and I knew this man needed his son and wanted his son, and so he became his son. So who is this man? I'm looking for a man by the name of William Gray because his son was just killed in Iraq. And she started tearing up and she said, that man was William Gray. You see, the highest state of love is not about relationship. It's not about our relationship with our spouses or our children or our bloodlines. It's not about our relationship as it relates to a friend. It's actually a state of being. It's who we are called here to be. This is what our life is for. There is no greater power than the power of love. There is nothing that can stand against it. Nothing that can survive within it. Ernest Holmes tells us it's the greatest force there is. And just like a tree is green, it doesn't take away its greenness for certain things. Just like a flower is meant to be fragrant, it doesn't emit that fragrance when someone is or isn't around, or when a certain person walks by. We're talking about this in our Wednesday night series, this book from Paul Farini, one of my favorite authors, The Laws of Love. We're talking about this in these 10 laws of love, and we got somewhat into barely the third law, or the second law, it doesn't matter, the law of equality. And that's a challenging one, at least for me, I don't know about you. And that law says every being is equal. And you never love one human being at the expense of another. It is our state of being, and we have an opportunity to be it at times that we may not realize we can be. Ernest Holmes tells us that who is born of love is born of God, for God is love. And without love, nothing can be accomplished, but with love, all things are possible. Again, it's the greatest power there is. All who is born of love is born of God. We are each of us born. We all come in the same way. Therefore, I am love. You are love. We are this power of love. We are the point of contact. We are the spark. God is love, and love is God. Love is greater than anything else. It covers a multitude of mistakes. Love overcomes everything and neutralizes all that is unlike itself. Again, the greatest power in the universe is love, and nothing can stand against it. Nothing. So I really came here this morning to share a story with you that I have experienced. And just like it's a little challenging to describe love, God, these concepts, it's also a little challenging to describe big mystical experiences. Has anyone had one of those, or a small one, a mystical experience? Let me see. More than one. There we go. Thank you. Yeah. And you know, I've had them, and when I have one, do you always want another? It's just like, it's like Lay's potato chips. You can't just have one. You have one and you want another. Well, I've had a few, but on October 17th, I had literally one of the biggest ones I've ever had in my life, and it did change everything in my life. And if this had not occurred, I promise you I would not be standing here today with you. So in the Bay Area, where I lived for 15 years, I went on public transportation. It's called BART there. And in Oakland, BART has a reputation. There was an incident a few years ago that made national news. However, certainly in the Bay Area, it was a spark. It was a point of contact when Oscar Grant got killed at a BART station. So I only bring that into reference because it's very much something that people are aware of in Oakland. And I traveled into the city of San Francisco for a meeting, and it was a great meeting. It was actually to find a place to start my own ministry in the Mission District of San Francisco, and I was coming back, and I was talking to someone very close to me, and I had my earbuds on, and I was on my iPhone, and I was talking as the BART tram arrived at the station. And so the way that this works in our city, in the city of Oakland in the Bay Area, you have a little card, and so you're walking off the BART, and then you got the card, and you got to stick it in, and the little gate opens up, right, and then you're out of the station. So I was about 5 feet from, say, here to the front row to Jim, and I was preparing to put this ticket in to leave the station. I was talking. So there's all kinds of things going on. I'm walking just like any other day, and something, I still don't know what, I don't even know how I listened to it, and I certainly don't know how I acted upon it, but I stopped. I just stopped and was still, because something was calling me to be the power of love. And just as I stopped my footsteps, to the left of me, some voices started to rise. And people were getting angry. And you could start to hear it, and it happened very quickly. I'm starting to feel the energy in my body again. And so I was talking on the phone, remember? And so I was like, hang on a second, I just need to be here now. I need to be present. I need to focus. And the person said, no, just what are you doing? You know how people we care about get a little concerned when you hear screaming starting to happen? You know, that's what was starting to happen. What are you doing? Don't be a hero, please. You know, all this was happening while I'm being called to be the power of love. And I was like, you know, can you just give me a second? I was divided in my life. I was divided in what I was being called to be. And I know there have been many moments where I have been divided and I just move on. But in this moment, I stayed. And what really was wonderful is at that moment, the call disconnected. Neither of us did it. The call disconnected. So now I was able to fully focus on the presence and be the presence of love. Now, back to the story. So what happened is there were two Caucasian women starting to get very angry with an African-American woman who was the BART station employee. And it happened, and it got rapid and rampant and violent very quickly with language. And I stood still. So that's all anybody else was seeing, was me standing there. And one of the Caucasian women, she walked off, and it was the two. And I mean, this woman was in her face. She was so in her face, and she was like, get out of my face. Those are the words coming out of her mouth, but she was in her face, you know, and she was screaming, and it was escalating. And as I was standing there, there was the human side of Karen going, where are those security guards? We need help. But I just stood there, right? And the woman took her into her BART station box, I call it. It's a dark box. So now she's trapped. The woman's trapped up against where she works, and it's really going down. And I just stood there. And then it happened. Just like that. I heard the BART station worker say, oh my gosh, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. No one has ever said anything like that to me before. They started hugging. They started laughing. They looked like best friends coming out of that BART box. I'm not kidding. And and the woman walked off with her ticket. She was so happy. And before the woman went back to what she was being called to do, she turned. It was like she felt the presence. She turned and looked at me. And she said, "Can I help you, ma'am?" And I said, "No, thank you. I came here to be love." And she looked me right in the eyes. She got it. And she said, "Thank you." And off we went. I share this because I had an experience of this, a personal experience that took me to a quantum leap. My life has been forever changed. I no longer doubt the power of love. And that is what we all can experience, and we're called to be it at moments where we would least expect it. When we would least expect it. Paul Ferrini tells us that the point is that spiritual work is every day, every moment. It must be integrated into our lives no matter where we live and what we are doing. And I've been doing this practice of Be Love for now 4 years. This is my 4-year anniversary. And I cannot share with you how it's changed who I am and how I show up and how I will show up with you. I'm so grateful for it. And one of the practices that I use that I wanted to share with you is to become, I invite you to become aware. Start to become aware before you start to engage. Because we are the point of contact. Before you start to engage, example, right before you open the front door of your house, I invite you to pause and become aware. Is my heart open or closed in this moment? Because most likely when you walk through that threshold, there will be other people in there. You don't know what their day's been like. You know what your day's been like, but you don't know what their day's been like. And so to pause and be aware, am I open to be the power of love as I walk through this threshold? Pause. How about before you start a meeting? Maybe, you think, oh, I don't want to be at this meeting. This meeting's not necessary. I've got my boss. He's just a pain in the tush. Whatever. And pause before you walk through that threshold and go, is my heart open or is it closed? Sometimes it feels subtle. Sometimes you can really feel it. And pause and be open to the power of love and how it can show up as you. As you're driving, and when you're open to it, you'll be asked to stop and help. It's a daily practice that we can have to be this power, to be this point of contact. So it's up to us to be open to it, to listen to its call. Oh, but by the grace of God, did my feet stop? I still don't know why, but I know the experience of the impact it had on my life and how I know who I am now and how I choose to be. And I know the impact it will have on each of us because we are the contact of it. We are the power of love. We are called to be it. And so I wrap it up with this beautiful quote that I love so much. Someday, after mastering the winds, the waves, the tides, and gravity. That's a big deal if we do that. We shall harness for God the energies of love, and then, for the second time in the history of the world, man will have discovered fire. We are the divine spark. We are the fire. We are the power of love. And I know we can be the spark in this community I know we can be the spark in this entire metroplex, and what one spark is felt here, it's felt around the world. Because I know we came here to be it, because we are it. And so it is.
So let's just take it in. I invite you to go within with me now. There is a power and presence in the universe, one infinite life, love. A wellspring of love and joy that is so present, so full, so rich, so deep, so wide, that all of creation floats on its surface. This love is the very inspiration for life itself. It is the impulse that causes the hummingbird to fly, the sequoia tree to grow so tall, the stars to shoot across the sky. It is that which causes us to look into a child's eyes and see who's really there. Love. And that love is the very life that each one of us lives. My life and your life. The life of all people, the life of all beings, the life of all creation itself. Love made manifest, made visible to the naked eye. So that when the rose blossoms and gives of its fragrance, it is love wafting into the breeze. And when we reach out to hold each other's hands, it is love that responds. And so in this moment, as we have opened our hearts to the presence of love, we have become greater conduits for that very presence. Let us this morning affirm that we are the spark that brings this love into being in our lives. We are the point of contact that brings love into our world. We are the place where love resides, and we bring it to every situation, to any circumstance, no matter how challenging or difficult. We bring the warmth and the presence and the light of that love. And let us this morning release any fear or doubt, any need for any outside security, any thought that there's something other than God happening. That we may be love in action. That we may be a compelling force for love. That we may be the place where love shows up in all of its magnificence. So we open wide our hearts. We open wide our minds. We allow our spirits to unfold in this presence of love. And we know that we are a blessing when we do so. Our lives are blessed. Other lives are blessed. Life itself is blessed. For love is the giving and receiving of life. And so in this declaration, we simply allow ourselves to rest. In this truth, we simply allow ourselves to be the love. We allow it to move. We release it now into life itself. We let it go. We let it be. And we say together, and so it is.